Shout out to Cats Pawd.
A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? The wait is almost over. We are just a short 48 hours until this championship game. Things are looking up, and we are more ready than ever for this game to be happening. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing good, man. I can't wait. I am no longer patiently waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I am just officially impatiently waiting.
Impatiently waiting, hardcore.
Yeah. Yes. Hence the reason we are recording from the calving barn.
Yep. It is one of those episodes, where we just got to make things happen. Making things happen wherever we may happen to be.
There may be a couple breaks. If you notice a pause in something, it's because I had to go out and look at cows, so everybody knows. I
may just cut in. I may make an advertisement that says this break is brought to you by calves or something like that. Shout out to calves for this break in your scheduled programming. I think the first big thing that we need to talk about, I was just thinking about, we need to talk about Vegan's contract.
Yeah, that's the, aside from the Cats being in the national championship, that's the biggest news. I mean, we did an episode and we said he is such a high character guy that him leaving right before national championship games seemed out of character, I guess. Of course, we don't know him, but it just seemed like, out of character. And we were right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vegan just proved that it's literally the team above all else.
Yeah.
I mean, the locker room is that way. I mean, it's exactly what we thought it was.
Mm-hmm. And I love locking him down on a 4-year deal. A lot of the incentives that are on the contract, those are really interesting. Don't want to dig too far into Mr. Vegan's pockets. But at the same time, there's a lot of very, very easily attained add-ons to his contract, which is awesome.
Yeah. The thing about this contract specifically is it has a substantial buyout number next year, which we said one more year. One more year, that would be huge.
Yep.
Well, he signed 4 years, but I feel like this is more of a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Then somebody's going to have to buy his contract out for a substantial amount.
Mm-hmm.
So in turn, he essentially can take care of himself and take care of the university.
Yeah. Which is win-win.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Somebody's going to have to pay to get him. And I feel like, money talks. And now I just feel like we're in a really good spot, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Going forward.
Mm-hmm. It feels really good that we at least get one more year of Brent Vegan. That definitely helps out a lot. 4 more years. 4 more years. Come on. 10 more years. 1 million more years, please.
Yeah. No, I'm really tickled with that contract, and I know this is a football podcast, but this is the point where we stop and shout out the president of Montana State for getting this done. I mean, this is her last hurrah. And as far as I'm concerned, she is the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about good timing.
How many other schools do you think have podcasts giving love to the president of the university?
Well, probably not a ton, because we have maybe the most well-rounded institution.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's good schools out there, but it would be hard to find one with this level of cohesiveness, I guess. Like, everything is so fluid.
Yep.
Everybody is on the same page all the time. And you know what the coolest thing is there was lots of rumors floating around.
Yep.
But I feel like the way to tell if you have a really good, real tight team is no leaks.
Yep. That is huge.
This was broke by the people in charge. All of it. All news is always broke by the guys in charge. You know, it's I think it's pretty special that we don't have a locker room talking about, you know, outside noise, if you will.
Yep. It definitely helps out a ton in that situation. Like you said, just a well-rounded university. And they know they put money into football, but they also put a lot of money into just making the school great in general. You know?
Yeah.
The money is spread around fairly evenly, and a rising tide lifts all boats when it comes to Montana State. The better Montana State gets, the better the football team has gotten. You know, when attendance goes up, the football team gets better. You know, it's stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean at this point, I feel like we're in such a good spot going forward that even if he does get hired away next year, I feel like he's gonna essentially lock the team down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The team, we're not going to have a mass exodus of players because the coach bailed on them early. Feel like a lot of these young guys that he's recruited will stick around, especially if they know who's going to replace him or something along those lines.
Yeah, the replacement is a huge factor in that situation, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I feel like Vegan has proved that in-house hires are a very good thing. So
got to keep it in the program.
Yeah. I think one of our coordinators will be next man up.
Oh, yeah.
If I was a betting man.
Oh, yeah.
And I am a betting man.
I wonder if Montana Sports Bet should start putting lines on that. Who's going to be the next coach, even though we don't have a coach leaving? Like, that would be insane.
Since you brought up Montana Sports Bet, I did place my wagers. Okay. Or I guess I had my wife place my wagers for me.
Yeah. That's a quality marriage right there, you know.
Yes. She is quite the woman.
Yeah.
I went with Montana State -6.5.
Okay.
For an even money.
Yeah.
And I took a Taco Dowler anytime touchdown at +105.
I kind of like that. Taco's been getting in the end zone early in games.
Taco's got a special knack for finding the end zone.
Yeah. He definitely gets open anytime within, I would say, the 35-yard line. Taco may be a possibility. And you also have all the punt situations where you could also pick up a decent chunk of change on old Taco there.
Yeah. I mean, when I saw that one, it was like, that's the bet.
Oh, yeah.
I do like the point spread. I like that. I like winning by a touchdown. I think that's pretty reasonable. And I just really feel like Taco is, he's found his groove and his connection with Tommy is so crisp right now.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to find it.
Okay. Yeah. I would definitely agree. Taco is definitely going to be a player to watch in this game, as well as a dozen other pass catchers, you know,
yes.
In this situation.
Yeah. I feel like if I had a crystal ball, I would say Taco Dowler gets the long balls.
Yep.
Ty McCullough is your necessity first down.
Yep.
Pass. And Rohan gets overlooked until, let's say, the beginning of the second half, and he gashes him for a monster.
Yep.
I'm leaving quite a few guys out.
Oh yeah, there's so many weapons on this team that we will miss someone.
Yeah.
You know, in all of these situations. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the awards banquet, because the Walter Payton may get announced while we are recording this. So I want to make sure that if it does, I keep refreshing Twitter, and I'm not sure. I'm not seeing anything yet. But I just saw a really nice picture of Jerry Rice with Tommy. So that's always good, too.
Well, speaking of awards, I feel like we should talk about Tommy a little bit.
Oh,
because his trophy cabinet keeps filling up. I mean, he got, what was that? The camp the Camp Award.
The Walter Camp Award.
Yeah, Walter Camp Award.
Mm-hmm.
He got that. What was the one last night? The something 90.
This morning he got the Elite 90 award, which is the award for the highest grade point average of any player in the national championship.
Yeah. So he just keeps racking them up, man. And I'm already here to tell you, if he doesn't get a third one tonight, I'm rioting.
We will see. I mean, that's why I want to keep an eye on this, because it is another one of the dominoes that is going to be falling here soon that we've got to keep an eye on.
And on top of me rioting,
yeah,
if he doesn't win it, that is such a chip to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he better put that on his shoulder and play like it,
mm-hmm.
because he is the best player in the country. We know it. Everyone else knows it. And if he gets snubbed, they better be playing for Adam Jones and Tommy Mellott, because that'll be the two biggest snubs in award history.
Oh, yeah. It would be... We would never stop talking about it. Like, it could be 5 years from now, and I feel like we would still be going off about that one time, when it happened.
I mean, Tommy Mellott, we're talking about a player who is kind of transcended everything in Montana. I mean, he is so universally loved among everybody for the kind of player and person that he is.
Mm-hmm.
It would,
Studies
I don't want to
show
say
that the
heartbreaking,
more
but it'd be a little heartbreaking if he didn't get the award. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He is the best player in the FCS. It's not close.
Yeah. I know things are tight statistically, but that is about it. That is the only situation where you look at the numbers and the straight up numbers, and they are pretty even. Cam Miller has a very slight passing bump on Tommy, but Tommy has a bump in rushing and also efficiency. Tommy is the most efficient quarterback in the country. He is number one. So it is very hard to see him not getting this award. I really wish, I know this is a problem with all awards and not just these ones. I wish awards would be weighted on voting until after the season was completely over, the entire season. I hate regular season awards. I don't see why that's always the case.
Yeah. I mean, you're completely subject to your schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy Mellott was on a team that blew everybody out, and he didn't play. But that's the statistics are so close, and he didn't play almost every fourth quarter of every single game this year.
Yeah. That is such a huge part of it too, is how much Tommy was not on the field for these situations. And his numbers are dramatically affected by that. So you have to take that into account.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously have a massive bias, but I feel like bias has run its course with Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody at this point feels like he's the best player, and it's no slight to Cam Miller. He's special. He's a really good quarterback, and I mean, he's gonna have. I wouldn't be surprised to see him move on, but he just doesn't mean as much to the team as Tommy Mellott means to Montana State. And he is dynamic, but not on the same level. I mean, Tommy we've seen him do some things that there are very few people in the NFL that can do.
Mm-hmm. I think he does things on the football field that no other quarterback at any level of college can do.
Yeah, I mean, his combination of, football IQ with speed and, what we've seen as a real development and arm talent.
Mm-hmm.
When you put it all together, he is one of the most special football players in all of college football, like you said.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But I hope he wins it. I need him to win it for us.
Mm-hmm.
For Montana.
Yep. For Montana State, for this 40-year drought that we've been dealing with. Winning a national championship, it just all feels once again like it is meant to be. And it's coming back around, and I feel like we definitely have the top 2 teams in the country playing on Monday.
Yeah, I still feel like South Dakota State was a little better. I know North Dakota State beat them twice.
Yeah.
And that must mean that they're better, but we have seen a bit of a flawed North Dakota State team at times this year.
Yeah.
We've seen them get, we've seen things happen to them that a typical North Dakota State team hasn't done in the past, such as control the right line of scrimmage on both sides.
Yeah.
That hasn't been necessarily a strong suit for North Dakota State this year.
No. And also, it kind of begs the question, if the wrong version of this North Dakota State team shows up on Monday, this could be a pretty stress-free game. Because if they show up the version of the team that's sloppy and doesn't know how to really put it together, like we've seen a few times this season, it could be a very long day for the Bison. But if they show up with their A game, this is going to be an all-time classic front to back. Yeah.
I mean, I'm expecting a close game, to be totally honest with you. I think it'll be pretty tight. That being said, I do like Montana State by at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
I just, Sam Herder put out that anonymous coaches poll that he does.
Yeah.
Where he polls, I think it was like 18 coaches or something like that.
Yep.
And asks them who they think will win. And 14 coaches said Montana State. To 4.
Yep. They're right. I also am saying, stop it, Sam Herder, with this anonymous stuff. All right? Release the names. Release the names. I want the names. I want to know who those 4 people are. Come on.
I mean, 14-4 by coaches. I assume some of them probably have played against Montana State. And, I mean, that is a really telling thing to me. I mean, if 14 guys that lead football programs that game plan for people like Tommy Mellott, if they're all picking you,
also
seems like a pretty no-brainer.
We know in the past the coaches poll has been not kind to the Bobcats.
No,
This season, everything had to happen correctly for the Bobcats to get that number 1 seed.
Yep.
They weren't given anything. They had to have the perfect situation, and they had to play a perfect season in order for them to get that number 1 seed. And that's the same thing we saw from the coaches poll last year. Every time that the Bobcats took a step in the wrong direction, all of a sudden they're 6-7 points down in the coaches poll. So the fact that they're giving them respect now, that means a lot. Yeah.
To me, thinking about what you just said, every time that, somebody says something about the Bobcats, the first one was Eastern Washington. Playing on that red field is a death sentence. The Bobcats have never played well there, and they beat Eastern Washington by more than any other team had.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not a blowout by any means, but they did more than enough to win that game.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, Portland State, that's a pretty frisky team.
Yeah.
This is your trap. That's your trap game. They're
so many traps throughout the season.
And they beat them by 50 points or something like that. I mean, it was a total blowout.
They made a very good quarterback in Dante Satcheret look very, very pedestrian.
Yeah.
In that game.
And, they said that first Idaho win. That was an injured Idaho team.
Oh, yeah.
Second time you play them, they're healthy. This is a different Idaho team than you have played. This is going to be way close. What did we see? A boat race.
You know who's different out there, Eric? You know who's different than any other season? The Cats are different.
Yeah, they are.
They're built differently. Bobcat built 1-0 every single week and looking to continue to be 1-0 on Monday. Like, they are built different than any other team that we have seen from the Bobcats.
Yeah, it's it's pretty darn impressive what we're getting to witness. And honestly, I think the main thing is seeing how tight the team is with one another.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty fun to see as a,
Yep.
you know, and not only just how tight the team is, but how buttoned up they are. They have such good grade point averages,
Mm-hmm.
and they do so much in the community.
Mm-hmm.
They're just good people, and it makes it so easy to root for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Boy, we sound so sappy right now.
Yeah. we are
ridiculous.
definitely glazing the Bobcats today, and have continued to all season, and they haven't given us a reason not to. So, that's their own fault.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really good time right now. And the real reason for the season starts on Monday at 6:00. The real reason.
Mm-hmm. I am so ready for this thing.
Yeah.
I am so beyond ready for this thing right now.
You have any special plans for the game?
No special plans really. I'm gonna have to work, and the game starts 5:00 our time. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Texas is in Mountain, right?
Texas is in Central, I think.
Texas is in Central. So I'm gonna have to scoot out of work a little bit early. If any of my coworkers are listening, I know I have a couple that listen to the show. I may be dipping out 10 to 15 minutes early so that I can get home for kickoff. Definitely don't want to miss out on that. Talking about how all-time this team is, so we have been kind of skirting around calling this the best Bobcat team of all time, right? For a few months. I heard an interview this week with Mike Kramer on it, and Mike Kramer flat out put this Bobcat team as number one all time.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that is a bold statement to a point. But also at the same time, I can't really argue with it.
I mean, I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again now. We have seen some electric offenses, especially like those Rob Ash, D. McGee offenses that were throwing up 50-some points a game.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, this offense is on that level.
Yeah.
But the defense is so much better and I think that's what makes it maybe the number one team is not only is the offense absolute dynamite, the defense has, it's so locked down.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just something we've not seen before.
Yeah. And there's so many studs at every level of the defense. We have studs on the line, we have studs at linebackers, and we have studs in the secondary that can change the game any play. On any play, they could completely flip the field on them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to call a team the number one team all time, but especially when you're living in the moment and everything, mm-hmm. and how fun this ride has been this year. But it's hard to argue against the statistics. I mean, the offense has averaged in just a ludicrous amount of points per game, mm-hmm. and the defense gives up nothing.
Mm-hmm. Also, a stat that popped out to me this week when I was looking through everything, red zone offense. The Cats are number one in the country in red zone offense, and they are over 95%. When they get into the red zone, they score. That is
pretty special.
Yeah.
It really is. Being that efficient in the red zone, mm-hmm. the play calling is on point. The players are so in tune with each other. They're not making mistakes.
Yeah. And it's one of two major things. The reason why we're so good in the red zone this year. The rushing attack, the multifaceted rushing attack between Scottre, Tommy, Adam Jones, those guys getting in the end zone from the red zone has been elite. And then also Money Miles. Money Miles has played a huge part in that because when we get stopped, we still get three no matter what. Three no matter what.
Yeah, it's such a new, and as a Vikings fan, I'm so used to terrible kickers
Yeah. It's hard to
that
adjust
having
to.
Miles kicking out there just makes life really good.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody I know feels that same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, it's pretty special what we're getting to see. I mean, I brought up the offense and defense, and the special teams is just as important. I mean, Brendan Hall doesn't allow kickoff returns.
Mm-hmm.
His punt, he's pinning guys inside the 20 with his punts.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles Sandstead does exactly what the job description says.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally a 3-phase deal here, and they're all firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely very, very helpful in these situations. I feel like we should probably start talking a little bit about the other team. The team that we're actually playing against. Because we've talked a lot about the Bobcats, and we love to talk about the Bobcats, and we could do that for hours and hours and hours. But I feel like we should actually mention a little bit more the team that we are actually playing against. Is there any... What do you think the key matchup is in this game?
Bryce Lance versus the entire Bobcat secondary.
Okay.
I feel like that was the difference maker against South Dakota State. And I feel like that's going to be the main focus because I don't think that North Dakota State's running backs are as talented as South Dakota's.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from 2 gash plays, South Dakota's running backs had fairly pedestrian days.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure North Dakota State's offensive line has an edge over our defensive line. And I really don't think I just really don't think that they're going to have success on the ground. I feel like it's all going to come out of Bryce Lance, just like we saw against South Dakota State.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to come up with another talking point, but at this point, I completely agree with you. I don't think Shamar Brown is going to be able to do much on the ground in this game. I think this is going to be a big-time game for Adam Jones to just make it clear to everyone in the country on ESPN 1 that he is the best freshman in the country.
Yeah, I mean, the team is so selfless. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't let those kind of things bug him.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is Adam Jones's opportunity to prove that he got snubbed.
Oh, yeah.
I for sure feel like it. And if Tommy Mellott doesn't win the Walter Payton tonight, it'll be his opportunity to prove it also.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many times that's happened. The Jerry Rice Award winner and the runner-up and potentially the Walter Payton winner and the runner-up face each other.
Yeah. It would be
I wonder if that's ever happened before.
I mean, I can't think of a time that it's happened before, but we haven't really followed everything on a national scale for that long.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
There was probably some years where NDSU just swept everything. I would guess. I'm guessing they've had a lot of players that have been up on that podium.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to your, matchups or whatever to watch if you go back through NDSU's games, the decent teams they've played have been able to put up points on them.
Mm-hmm.
Abilene Christian was fairly successful against North Dakota State.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you give Montana State opportunities to score, you're probably not going to win this game.
No, not at all.
They're going to have to lock them down somehow. Yeah.
Just like the rest of the season, as soon as you slip up, as soon as you make a mistake, Montana State is going to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
They're pushing the entire time, but they force the other team to make silly, uncharacteristic mistakes, and then as soon as that happens, that's when the 14-point run goes. And then all of a sudden we got a 2-touchdown lead.
I think the main difference between the Bobcats and the Bison is that Cam Miller puts almost everything on his shoulders, where the Bobcats have a lot of different guys that take turns shouldering the load. You know, at South Dakota State 2 weeks ago, it was Cam Miller with his legs and Bryce Lance with his arms. But the Bobcats have Taco Dowler with major success in every game. They have Rohan Jones when healthy with major success in every game. Ty McCullough is an automatic first down.
Yeah.
And that's not even bringing in the running backs, who one of them is going to have a good game. You can't contain both of them all the time.
Yeah. The Juice Squad is the best group of running backs in the entire country, and they are listed off fifth for us. And that's not even out of disrespect. It is just the fact that there's that many weapons.
Yeah, speaking of Juice Squad, my game day fit will be a Juice Squad t-shirt, followed by a Run the Damn Ball sweatshirt with a Cat's Paw jersey over the top.
There you go. Got to keep the Juice Squad right next to the heart.
Yep.
That makes sense.
It's the same thing I've worn every Saturday for an entire football season.
And have you washed it?
I have not washed it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I like that. You did not wash it. You definitely did not wash it.
Me specifically did not
wash it. It still has the luck in it when it comes to you. You know, that's good. That's good. Victor Flores just said that we're a half hour away from the announcement. Come on.
Perfect. This seems like a good time to a break brought to you by the Cavs.
Okay, this break is brought to you by Cavs. And we're back from that little break. For you, it was a second. For us, it was about an hour. So we were also sitting around waiting for the Walter Payton Award to be announced, because apparently our best option is to just refresh on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all we got.
One thing I thought we should bring up is there's going to be a bit of a cold snap come through Frisco on game day.
Definitely.
It will go from 60 degrees tomorrow to looked like kickoff temperature is going to be, mid-20s, high 20s.
Yeah, it was projected to be high 20s, like maybe about low 30s going into this game, which won't affect the Cats at all.
No,
that's normal practice weather.
Yeah, and they were practicing in snow and all kinds of junk, leading up to this game. So I definitely feel like the Bobcats have, I don't want to say significant, but a definite advantage in cold weather, because they're used to being out in it every day. So, yeah, I think that game time temperature of mid-20s is going to affect a dome team a lot more than it'll affect a non-dome team.
Mm-hmm.
I know at the Idaho game, there were some Idaho players that looked a little chilly down there, and that was about the same temperature. And Bobcats had no trouble, so
yeah.
I think a little bit colder favors the Bobcats more than a little bit warmer. How about that?
Yeah. Do you think that the quality of the field is going to be all right? Because I know that that's been a problem in the past.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know. I know they had trouble the last time, but I feel like they've had plenty of time to come up with something to remedy that, I guess. It's been several years. I don't know if it's changed the cleats or what, or if it's just a junk field in general, but
yeah,
I do think they've had ample time to figure that out.
Yeah, definitely. I know that the field affects both teams equally, so it's not like it's just going to affect the Bobcats running game or the quickness of players. It affects the quickness of players on both sides. So it's not a huge factor, but it's just annoying when you have a national championship game and it's something you have to think about,
The real question, Ben, is not about the field, but how much do you think that stadium's going to charge me for game time beers?
Ooh, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I would say you're definitely in the double digits for a beer on this game.
And I guess the real question is, do I care?
No, you're going to be there. You're going to be ready. You're here for it. And also, you get to have beers in the stands.
Yes.
Which is always a plus, you know?
It's going to be new. You know, my first experience with this outside of like professional games was at New Mexico, because they would let you take beers down to your seats at the New Mexico game. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is round 2 with the stadium beers at a college football game for me.
Yeah. Part of the game plan for you, do you dial back on the tailgating beers when you know that there's game beers?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I think I'll maintain pretty well until the Bobcats win.
Yep. And then it's just going to be, I am hoping for only the best Snapchats to be sent my way of one Mr. Eric Lover. Brooke Lover, I need you to be on this, okay? You are videographer for me, just so that I can vicariously enjoy it from thousands of miles away.
She'll be videoing me scorching down the stands onto the field.
Yeah. It's going to be impressive. Hopefully the knee holds up. Hopefully the knee holds up a lot for that.
We don't talk about that little guy.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. I shouldn't have jinxed you just by bringing it up. That's my bad. That's my bad. I feel like we haven't talked at all about North Dakota State's defense. Is North Dakota State's defense we should be worried about? Should we be just aware of it? What is the situation with their defense?
I think the main thing about North Dakota State's defense compared to years past is they're not nearly as locked down a unit as we've become accustomed to.
Yeah.
Especially this year, you know, they've had some fairly substantial injuries on that defense. They just haven't overcome them quite like the Bobcats have.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
I'd wager anybody that our losses on defense outweigh anybody else's, and they've somehow figured out a way through it. And North Dakota State, I mean, let's be totally honest here. They should have lost to that team from Tennessee. Was it Eastern Tennessee or something like that?
Yep.
Eastern Tennessee State.
Yeah.
I know it was ETSU. They should have lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that game against SDSU the first time was a coin flip, and they lost to USD in overtime.
Yeah. I mean,
they gave up 31 points to Abilene Christian. You know, they let a absolutely god-awful Mercer offense score on them against their starting defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they pulled them.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has holes, and teams have found success running the ball against them.
Yeah. I'm pretty surprised. I just did a quick look through the top teams in the country for offense and defense and things like that. Total defense, North Dakota State is ranked 18th, and the Cats are 12th. I am very surprised to see that. And I looked at the rushing defense, and North Dakota State is ranked 22nd in rushing defense. This is not one of the defenses of NDSU's past.
No.
This is not one of the ones that you have to worry about completely.
I saw a ranking, or, you know, one of those ranking lists, and it was tackling.
Yeah.
And NDSU is way toward the bottom in tackling.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to tackle well against Scottrey Humphrey does not bode well for a guy.
No, it is not good for your situation whatsoever.
And if Julius is able to get on that field, not being able to tackle him is a real problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not only will he run through you, he will hurdle you consistently. So I think the major thing to realize about NDSU's defense this year is that this is the first, you know, last year to a certain extent and this year are the first times we've seen them vulnerable, like truly vulnerable in a certain aspect of a game. And I feel like USD found a way to win that game, and we beat USD pretty handily.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that kind of speaks to the levels that the defense are playing at.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that their offense can score points, but can they stop us from scoring points? Because I know our defense can stop them.
Yeah. And even if they don't stop them on the first few drives, they'll adjust and then they'll make the stops when they really matter.
Yeah. If there's one thing our defense has shown is that they're able to adjust quickly.
Yeah.
You know, they might let up one or two big plays.
Yep.
But the correct adjustments are made so fast that it just stops happening.
Oh, yeah.
They lock it back down. They figure out which scheme works best, and they run with it. And that's just not something you see from NDSU this year.
Yeah. It's very hard for me to find any devil's avocado arguments for this game. And I'm trying. But the more I look into stats, the deeper I look into it, the more advantages I see for Montana State as a whole. Which honestly makes the back of my brain tingle a little bit. Are you getting any of those tingles before this game just because it's NDSU?
I mean, you know, kind of. But it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. There's been so many teams that they've said before that we weren't going to get, or it was a trap game, or whatever the circumstance happened to be that week.
Yeah.
And I have no reason to believe that we know that the Bobcats are the better team all the way around, all three phases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, here's my prediction is it's probably going to be back and forth early.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be a little careless to say that it wouldn't be back and forth. I think both teams score early and probably a couple times. And then I think NDSU is going to run into something that they haven't seen in a while, and that's, you know, if they are able to get MSU to a 3-and-out, I don't think that they are necessarily used to seeing a Brendan Hall flip fields on.
Yeah.
Make really long drives, back him up, you know, and you know he's going to be ready to go. I mean, I could see him pinning a couple inside even the 10-yard line.
Yeah. And
I'm not sure with the necessity for big plays from them, I'm not sure they can keep up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really a grinded out 4 yards at a time kind of team. They like the big play.
Yeah.
They like taking those deep shots. And yeah, you know, that's going to work sometimes. And, you know, once in a while, a guy's going to get beat in coverage and they're going to get those big plays. But I just don't see that happening enough times for them to get ahead of what is such a unique offense. I mean, NDSU can, you know, they can shut down. We've seen teams shut down the running game as far as the running backs go, and Tommy Malott gashes them hard.
Yep.
We've seen teams like UT Martin that, you know, kind of clamp down a little bit, and Tommy torched him with his arm.
Yeah.
So how can they cover everything?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before. It's just too much for most people to deal with.
Yeah, even if it's an absolutely elite defense, you can't cover everybody on the field. And when you have a guy like Tommy making the decisions, it just doesn't leave a lot of room for argument. And you brought up maybe they force a couple 3-and-outs, but that's even been a problem because the Cats are number 2 in the country for third down conversions. The only team better than them is Eastern Washington, who had a scorcher of an offense and a terrible defense.
Yeah. You know, I definitely think that North Dakota State's going to come in, you know, doing their normal thing. They're probably going to be on top of it pretty early, but I just don't see them able to withstand the pressure of the Bobcats on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And a special teams unit that is capable of completely eliminating the run game.
Mm-hmm. Based on the way that Shamar Brown has been playing during the playoffs, there is nothing that makes me think that Brody Grebe, Paul Brott, Kenny Iden, all those guys are not going to be able to shut him down completely.
Yeah, if there was a prop on a Kenny Iden sack, I would hammer that.
Oh, that would be real nice. That would be a real nice play. Just so the Podcats all know, I do have to announce this every episode until after the national championship. I have not placed any bets. I was approached by a coworker to place a bet on the game, just a friendly 1-to-1 bet, and I walked away. I walked away because I'm not going to do that to this team.
Yeah, don't no unnecessary jinxes. I mean, we already forced the listeners to not wash their clothes.
Yeah.
So you can't let them down here.
Mm-hmm. Cannot let them down at all.
Yeah. Of course, Sportsbet Montana is being a total turd right now.
That happens as Montana Sportsbet does.
Yeah.
I'm going to refresh X one more time to see if any news has come out.
One more. Let's see it.
Still
Tell
nothing.
me something.
Still nothing. Still nothing. Nada. This is going to be just like the last episode we put out. Okay, we're talking about all this stuff, and then a few hours later, the big news drops. Yeah. The big news drops. We just want to know if we need to enlarge the chip that's on our shoulder right now.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing. I will be at the game. Will be wearing a Cat's Pawd jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody listening, find me. I'll have stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of stickers.
Yeah. Do you need a re-up on the stickers before you head down there, or you got enough?
I think I got enough.
Okay. Good.
I think I'm set.
Yeah.
We'll see how many stickers I hand out. I might not come back with any.
Yeah. That's the goal, is to never come back with any.
That's true. Yeah. So, no, I leave early in the morning to drive to Bozeman to get on a plane to come down. So I cannot wait.
Mm-hmm. And I will be jetting home from work to cheer my ass off from my couch, as one does.
Yeah, we better see videos.
Yeah, I should just set up like a time lapse. I might set up my secondary phone as just a time lapse of the game, just to see all the reactions of it.
I like that idea. That could be pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it could be good. I might also like start hamming it up just for the camera, since I know it's there.
Yeah,
like you'll be able to see when touchdowns happen because I'll be on it.
Yeah. I usually make a total scene whether or not anybody's around anyway. So, and I will definitely be making a scene in the stands.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great Monday. And it's so huge for the FCS in general. Just being the only show in town on the #1 sports network in the entire world. It's got to be big. I'm gonna be a little bit skeptical of the halftime show if it's like last year's, but we'll see.
I think the biggest thing is that they got the Monday Night Football slot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's enough to really take the viewership away, especially when you consider. Central time being 6, because kickoff is 6 Central. So you're going to get the East Coast. You're going to get Central. You're going to, most of Mountain Time will make the effort, or at least turn it on when they get home.
Yeah.
And maybe lose a little bit of Pacific, but this is definitely the biggest spotlight I think this game has ever had.
Mm-hmm. So we just had a big announcement. So we are recording after we had finished the episode completely. So if this contradicts anything, we apologize. But we have some big news going on right now. What is it, Eric?
Tommy Mellott has officially won the Walter Payton Award.
Let's go, Tommy.
Has been recognized as the greatest player in FCS this year, and it is so well deserved.
Yeah. Nobody deserved this award more than him. They made the right decision. The voting body, shout out for doing your job and picking the right guy in this situation, because we were worried that it wasn't going to go that way.
You know, and I think that's just, you know, we were gearing ourselves up for any kind of disappointment. We knew he was the best player, and he's being recognized as the best player, and thankfully, because I didn't need to go on a 20-minute tangent about how pissed off I was that he got snubbed. I mean, I already got one that got snubbed. I didn't need two. Congratulations, Tommy Mellott. You are probably the best Bobcat ever. I mean, the awards are piling up. I mean, he's going to have to build a house to house his awards at this point.
It's not a trophy case. It's not a trophy room. It's a trophy wing of your house at this point.
And he deserves every single one of them.
Nobody could deserve it more.
Model citizen, model football player, model student. It's everything you want in a college athlete. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah.
Let's go. We got a Walter Payton Award winner on this team. Let's go.
When's the last time we had one of those, Eric? When's the last time?
Whew.
It's been a while.
Whew. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah.
It's just a testament to what this season is and what we've known it to be. And now it's just nice to see it being recognized by everybody else. Everybody else is seeing what we're seeing. Everybody on that finalist list was a special player, but none of them are as special as Tommy. And we all know it. And everybody else knows it now, too.
Yeah. Thank you again, Tommy. As always, keep it up. One more time to go 1-0. Just one more time.
Thank you for choosing us.
Thank you for choosing us, for sure.
This has been a fun ride, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. And it's not even over yet. We still got some more icing to put on this cake.
Yeah, if you think the Walter Payton means more than a chip, I think you're wrong.
Yeah. And it definitely doesn't mean more than a chip to one Mr. Tommy Mellott.
Yeah. Yeah. He's gonna be going after this on Monday even harder now. Now he's got to prove that he's the best player in the FCS. I mean, we already know he is, but he's won the award. Now it's time to go out and show that award off.
It's just a great week.
It's surreal, man.
Vegan Stan, Tommy got the Walter Payton, and we still have a national championship game to watch.
Yep. I mean, you really can't ask for a whole lot more. No. You really can't.
No. It's an embarrassment of riches right now.
It is. And I'm so happy that we get to enjoy it. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
This has always been the year, and I'm so stoked for it. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go, Cats. Let's go, Tommy. Let's go, Cat Culture. Oh, it's awesome.
Congratulations, Tommy Mellott. You deserve it. You deserve it for everything you've done for the school for the last 4 years, because as you and I both know, we haven't tasted success like this before, really. I mean, we've had good teams, but not like this. And having a player like Tommy, who is the best player according to every outlet now, he's gonna clean sweep probably everything now.
Yep.
Everybody else knows how good he is, not just us, and that's really nice to know.
Yeah, it's nice to feel included. You know,
it is. Yeah, exactly. It's nice to feel included. And now we got a chip. Now we got a chip to go win.
Yep.
Yeah, that trophy case is, it's going to turn into a trophy house.
Yeah. trophy house.
Yeah. Good times, buddy. Good times.
Yep. Now back to the rest of your scheduled episode. And it is set up to be an all-timer of a game. So I'm excited. If this is anybody's first introduction to FCS football, I'm a little jealous, you know.
This is the revenge, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the revenge for 21.
Yep.
It's the revenge for last year in the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this game has more than just a national championship on the line. It's make all of us fans feel just a little bit better about what we've had to go through losing to North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's heard me talk about how much I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is finally the time we might get a little bit of redemption on it.
Yeah. It's so hard not to jinx this thing.
Yeah.
It's so hard to hold back when everything that I'm feeling about this team is just bubbling over in this situation. And I just want the story to have the ending that it deserves.
I know. I 100% feel you, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you go against something you don't really want to do, and I want your score prediction.
Okay, score prediction. I got to think about this a little because I was on Duct Tape Dynasty earlier, and I gave a score prediction there, and I believe my score prediction is going to stay the same. Okay. My score prediction for this game is 31-21 Montana State.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mine, I went back and forth because I truly believe the Bobcats score more than 30 points.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing North Dakota State can score 30.
Yeah.
So my prediction will be 34 to 21.
Okay.
I'm going to take a field goal on top of you.
Yeah. And there's going to be a few big plays by NDSU throughout the game. People are going to be overreacting to it. I will probably be overreacting to it. But in the end, the adjustments will be made defensively and offensively, and the Cats will be able to do enough to have a confident victory. I'll call it that.
Yeah. And I'll just throw this out there for the listeners. Remember, if you think 34 points is a lot, and ESU gave up 31 to Abilene Christian.
Yep. Just
remember that.
And they also give up that many points to a lot of different teams, you know.
Yeah. I think I don't remember exactly what the score was for the USD game, but I'm pretty sure that was in the 30s, both teams.
Yeah, 28-29 in that USD game. So they gave up a lot of points. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave up 3 touchdowns to SDSU just a couple weeks ago, and SDSU didn't have the best offense this year. They had a stellar defense, but not the best offense at times.
Yep. I firmly believe the Cats score north of 30 at the minimum.
Yeah.
There's no evidence to suggest anything otherwise. They've done it against really good teams. So, yeah, that's that. I just don't see the Bobcat defense not making the correct adjustments. So I don't see more than 21 from North Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you could call that generous. I mean, I do think USD is a better team all the way around, and they only managed 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was 17, wasn't it?
Yeah. 31-17.
Yeah. So I think 21 points for them is plenty fair.
Yeah. When you have big playmakers like Cam Miller and Bryce Lance, you're going to make some plays throughout the game.
Yeah.
But those are going to be short spurts. It's not going to be sustained success. They're not going to be having a lot of long drives. They're going to have to hit early, or they're not going to hit at all.
Yeah, and I'm 21 points is spotting 3 Bryce Lance touchdowns. So
Yep. He could have a hell of a game, and they still lose by a significant margin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah. Can't
I
wait,
think
man.
It's so exciting. I'm so glad we're here. It's also anxiety peaking, I guess, would be what it is. I just very anxious for this game to start. Really want it to be happening, and we're getting closer and closer by the minute. So I can't be sad about it.
Yeah, we are almost there.
Almost there.
Almost there, buddy.
Almost there. Hey, Podcats, just hang in there with us. We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the episode after a Bobcat win.
Ooh, that will be one for the ages. One for the ages.
I'll just flat out tell the listeners, if the Bobcats win, I will be in no shape to record directly after the podcast. That is a fact.
Yeah. Episode might be coming out Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see.
But the excitement will still be there.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
It will not dull one bit. I can guarantee that.
I'm a fan of a lot of teams, and none of them have ever won a chip.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not since I've been a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, they have in the past.
Yeah.
But since I've been a fan, not a single one of my sports teams has won any championship.
Mm-hmm.
This is my second shot with the Bobcats at my first championship as a fan. And I really need it.
Yeah.
I really, really need it. I'm 31 years old, and it's been a long go of just nothing.
Yeah, I have one measly little Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl. That's the only excitement that I've had. And one Louisville championship that was redacted later on. So
yeah, it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
Yeah. I have nothing. Nothing for, I mean, I didn't become a Phillies fan until after 2008, so don't get to count that one.
Yeah.
Iowa State has never won anything really. I mean, they had a couple deep runs, but that's about it. And the Vikings are 0-4 in Super Bowls, so that's fun. And the Bobcats have been to the championship once since I've been alive, so
yeah.
I need it, Ben.
I
need it real bad.
I need it. I need it so bad. I need it. Insert SpongeBob meme. I need it. All right.
One other thing. How long? When do you think they'll play Moni Moni?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
If
they
the
didn't
Bobcats
play it
win
at the USD game, so I'm a little skeptical.
Gosh, I hope they play it.
Yeah. I have a feeling that sometime during the third or fourth quarter, it may be played. But I would also be a little bit surprised.
As soon as we're done recording, I'm putting my AirPods in, and I'm going to queue up Moni Moni, Metallica, and
the Wild Boys. Come on, do it.
Put
it in the mix. Put it in the mix. Duran Duran, the Wild Boys. Come on, throw it in there.
Okay. All right. I'm adding it right now.
There we go. I appreciate it.
In case anybody was wondering, Montana Sports Bet has still not opened on my phone, so love them. Always do, always will.
Also, for any of the listeners out there that are looking for a playlist, I have created a playlist that is called Podcats Road Trip on Spotify. So if you search Podcats Road Trip, you will be able to find part of my road trip playlist. I didn't want to put... I listen to a lot of different music, and I listen to a lot of very explicit music, so I didn't want to put everything in there, but I will be adding to it throughout the next couple days if you need some road trip music to get to Frisco.
Also, Ben, I am going to force you to release the She Shanty.
We didn't. I gotta hold on. We didn't get the likes to release the sea shanty. So
I don't even care. You gotta do it. We got a quarter of the way there.
Yeah. I'll make up a little music video for it. It will be released post championship. I will release the sea shanty in its entirety.
Okay, that's what it takes is a chip to release the sea shanty.
Oh yeah, definitely. Then it'll be on there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. It's gonna be something, I can tell you that. I'll put something together for the people. And I've got a couple other plans for shorter videos other than podcasts for us to release on the channel. So we'll keep those cooking.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Heck yeah, man. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great time. Looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All righty. Thanks everybody for listening. Go ahead and check us out on Instagram or X at CatsPod. Check us out on YouTube at The CatsPod, and we will see you next week after another glorious Bobcat Championship.